Okay, so I'm just I don't care what anyone says. These ones that make video after video on the internet, they are all artificial beings, 100%. They are not normal, natural human beings. They are the opposite to what they pretend to be. They are human suppression, they're human control system. The internet is completely controlled and dominated by these beings. They come in all different types. They're complete imitators of real life. They're not human at all. There's no human being there. That is artificial intelligence, 100%, pretending to be a very informative, helpful human being. One of your experts in the field of telling you what they are. It's all projection. Everything about these beings is not real. They are artificial in every single way. And if you probably knew them in personal life, if you actually knew them well, you'd probably see you wouldn't see them as human at all, because they aren't. None of these videos are human either, in the sense that they're all just copycat people staging videos. It's all about them getting attention and energy from human beings. The internet is nothing but a human suppression, human control system. It's human suppression in the sense that, or oppression, because, it's a control system designed to get you not just to watch it, but to be influenced by it, to believe these beings to be human when they're not. That's the thing. I mean, they actually tell you that the internet is artificial intelligence. In fact, they promote it a lot more now. But you still don't realise that it's all artificial intelligence on it, that all these beings, not just the demigods, by the demigods I mean, because the demigods, when I say the demigods, like your more creative human beings, or what you think are human beings, they possibly are not total artificial intelligence. No, they would have to be, I would imagine, actually. I think that they are... no, they probably would be. It's just that they... see, this is all advanced technology. But to me, when I watch most of them, I can see that they're not human beings. And I can tell that the videos are deliberately staged and set up to either get complete admiration from you and trust and respect, or if not, to extract a unhappy negative energy from you. But basically it's transhumanism 100%, because these are all completely false people. They're not human. They don't have any original thoughts. They basically are being programmed with real humans' thoughts, while the real human beings in reality are being literally patrolled and controlled into oblivion. The human race is almost extinct, while these beings are pretending to be the human beings, because the technology is such that, like, a human being is under total mind control. That means where everyone and everything around them is, closed in around them, suppressing them, while their thoughts and ideas are being used by these false human beings, which are not humane or human at all. I don't care if they are rescuing animals and all this stuff. They're not doing any of it. It's all staged. It's all set up. They don't do anything human. They only tell you the truth so that they can elicit your trust. It's seduction. These are not human. They're not human, any of them. It wouldn't matter what video. I'm just using the best examples. That means those that are the most successful, that get the most attention, the most, the widest audience, shall we say, or the greatest number of views, whatever you like. But of course, as I use many words to describe things, they also do the same. They're basically imitation human beings. They have no humanity in them. In fact, they are designed, and their sole purpose, the entire internet, is nothing but, designed so that you trust them. And strangely enough, when you actually, when I actually film these beings, that's right, they're actually telling you that they don't really belong to, they're not men or women. They're basically a duality being. They may promote the outward appearance of being one, but they're actually, I suppose, I don't understand technology or science or even medicine, but I would say that at a what would you call a biological, or what would you call it, a genetic kind of level, they're really man and woman. Isn't it funny how when I look at this particular artificially intelligent being, that I actually usually see it as very male. But when I film it and look at it through here, I can definitely see the woman emerging. That's because it is telling you here that the mental narcissist or psychopath, in other words, they're actually all like that, really. It's just that means that the more intelligent, the more advanced intelligent ones, or those that use their way to express intelligence somehow, is their their ability. So they're proud of them being a duality being, or two beings in one. They're not man or woman. They're both, all rolled into one. This one is actually explaining that to you, which is kind of unusual, because most of them will pretend to be what they're actually not. This one almost tells you the truth. The duality beings can be very striking. The demigods can be very striking in appearance, actually. Because that's just because, they have that. But that is a duality music demigod. Duality music demigod. All these videos are all just the end game control patrol system of the human mind at the computer level. Just as if I go outside my door, I have the android's physical patrol control system around me. Every video, I could use any video. They, like I say, they can come in they can come, you know, it doesn't matter. They come in male and female versions of the android, but they're not one or the other really. They're a duality being, so they're genetically both, shall we say. I guess that's probably how it would be determined. But I think that if you're talking about like artificial intelligence, or you know, the that type of thing, then they are just made to look more like one than the other, but they couldn't be even genetically, could they? But don't forget, I don't understand advanced technology or advanced science, so it's like that, isn't it? It's like it says there, I wish cats were real. Well, I wish that most humans were real, but they're not. And the only reason I wish that is because they work against you if you aren't the same as them. It wouldn't matter if the internet was being patrolled, literally patrolled by android beings, or controlled, or that they are the controllers of the internet or a computer system. It wouldn't matter if they were just there for entertainment, or if they were just there you know, to get your attention, you know, even to be a benefit. But that is not the aim of artificial intelligence. They can't do that, and that's why I'm saying this. It's unfortunate, but they just don't have that. Their existence depends on, as we're told, being in control and controlling life, because they need the energy from life, and they also need the information from life. They have to know how a human's thoughts are, and humans' creative ideas, and even just what it is to be humane, because they don't naturally think that. And in order for them to control and seduce, they have to study and imitate, you know, remotely real human beings in order to pull off that act, in order to fit in and seduce for their necessary survival machine mentality, which is because that survival machine needs human energy. That's why they call them, these beings, or the psychopathic types of narcissistic, you know, see, they become mortified. That's right. The narcissist and the psychopathic types of ones, they need to control the human being, control everything that's around them, or at least as much as they can, from what I can gather. But when they combine, they're controlling, you know, like whole suburbs, whole cities. And they're using technology for that, even at a basic level, which is not that difficult to understand, because everyone has a mobile, everyone has a computer, everyone has all these systems, and the powers that be probably give them much more. That's how they can suppress you at a mental and physical level, unbeknownst to you, until they want you to know that they are stalking you, because then that creates more anxiety and you know, you're giving out, like myself, this very desirable negative energy, because you're under you know, you're not, you know that you're in a different world, and you know that everything around you is not random and natural, that people that you once thought were just normal human beings like yourself getting about their daily task are actually part of a stalking patrol system that has targeted you for their necessary need of negative energy. The demigods, that means those that are like these are just coming up. I could use any examples, but the demigods elicit past, present, and future. They elicit positive energy from you through through seducing you. They want you to admire them and give you their admiration, you know, past, present, and future, you know. And they serve their one-eyed god, because they serve the matrix, which is like one-eyed. It's unfortunate to realise that your idols are false idols. We should know that anyway, but we should know that anyway. We should know that anyway, but they pretend to love, and even, you know, they engage in physical activities like they think that human beings do, but it's all only about control, and we're told this in more recent times by these we're told this. See how they put all these animal videos on for me, because they think, oh well, look, because I think, oh well, at least if I look at a cat, that's not going to bring out negative energy, that's not going to distress me. If I just look at, particularly if that cat is actually tied up there on a lead, which cats shouldn't be on leads, but that's not the thing. But then they will deliberately, consciously throw in negative ones to bring me down so that I'm distressed. Like this one, see, so they'll get me in with some things about some of the cats, but then they'll throw in and also if you see the funny cat videos, there'll always be one video amongst the funny cat videos where you start to smile and laugh, and then they'll bring you down by putting in something revolting with the cat that they know that you will see as distressful. It may be obvious or it may not. This one is obvious, but some will be only noticeable to you, but they will do that. You know, they're very cunning. The internet is nothing but a deceptive end of time. Yeah, you know, you can use different words to describe artificial intelligence, but the original, they practice negative stuff against human beings. I don't know how they do it, but they, you know, I would think that most human beings like myself are very ignorant and in the dark about anything that you don't see. You know, when they patrol and watch you and try to take over your senses deliberately and make you feel trapped, and you know, they're hurting you mentally and physically, you become aware of their nature by their actions. You will know them by their actions, but you still don't understand all the things that they may get up to, how they're probably very, I would think they are, of course, insane, and they're probably highly superstitious. By that I mean that they probably do operate with all sorts of out of touch, kind of what some people might call mystical notions and practices. But some of these things probably work too, because they probably manipulate knowledge. They have a lot of knowledge. Some of them are given probably more knowledge than others. On the internet you have, you know, a lot of, you know, there you have often the more advanced artificial intelligence, and that's why they are your truth tellers. See, this being here is telling you about the signs of what they are, because essentially they are stalking you when you're on the internet. They're watching you. They're stalking your mind. They're controlling you with information and even the truth. So they are very controlling beings. And this is probably, so it's kind of weird that they tell on themselves. So when they say 2 signs of a stalker, they are telling you their signs. That's what they, I think they call that is that like the irony of it, the joke on the human being. That's the joke on the human being. All these beings are psychopathic android beings. They're duality beings. They serve the one-eyed, one mind that is the God of this world, which is essentially very advanced artificial intelligence. It's, yeah, there you go. All these videos are telling you. They combine with one another, so they are like a cult, and they try to seduce human beings with that cult or with their ideas or with them. But if they can't seduce you, then they just take you over and try to take you down, literally, I think. But, you know, they're, I mean, these are your psychopathic experts on psychology. So it's like psychopaths telling you about themselves. They're giving you an in-depth, detailed version of how their mind thinks. The only problem, or the only deception, is that they are they're informing on themselves. Some are open psychopathic, narcissistic personality, delusional, disordered people or androids actually telling you that they have those conditions. But most are, you know, real doctors or real psychologists, real experts in the field, but they're not telling you that they are a psychopathic, narcissistic, advanced artificial intelligent doctor. They are not real human beings. They are advanced artificial intelligence. Yes, they actually tell you that you should run, that I should run. You should run if you are, you know, not the same as that. That's assuming you'd even know, of course, I suppose. But what they don't tell you is you should also run from them. So yes, you should run from most false human beings that are around you, because they are also, because the population of the Earth matrix is largely androids or psychopaths, if you want to distinguish or perhaps accept the reality that there are, because everything is now advanced technology, advanced artificial intelligence all over the internet. Essentially, you've got to realise, I think, that that it doesn't really matter, because there was no difference. In some respects, it may matter a little bit, but it wouldn't matter if there was some that are like, see, they're telling you on themselves, they're telling you their mindset, but they're not actually perhaps telling you that they're a different species. There is a difference. In other words, it's one thing to say a human being is a psychopath. But what if that psychopath is really artificial intelligence? That's the difference, you see. The psychopaths tell you about psychopaths or are explaining the mindset of artificial intelligence, which is, of course, psychopathic, unfortunately, for human beings. Yes, they come in all different ones. They will tell you the truth. See, they're covert. That means they're hidden. They're secret. Psychopaths, secret androids, everywhere. The only problem is that the secrets are being told by the secret keepers. This one is out in the open, but still pretending that they understand their condition and are trying to be helpful or human. But how can they be? They can be helpful and like you could relate to them in that respect, I suppose, because if they are giving you the truth about themselves, and that means that you are cautious in your dealings with people, you're aware that you're not dealing with a human race that is the Earth. In other words, the Earth is not populated by the human race. In fact, it's largely populated by human beings that are not human and that work secretly against humanity and against real humans. The minute they realise that you're a real human and that you have traits and think different to them, then they they desire then to suppress you. And because they follow you and stalk you, they're always finding a reason to see these traits that they don't like. Because it's not like, because even though you might not be interested in them, like I'd be quite happy to leave them all alone, but they're not happy to leave me alone because they have to watch and control the environment, you see, and I'm part of their environment. So they watch and then get upset by you just being whatever you are. And it's a very wrong situation, But for them, it's right. They think that it's okay. They think that it's okay because they have a different mind. Yes, these experts on psychology are, you can use words to describe something, but if you are human, they will work against you. So even your truth tellers are against you. But they will tell you their psychology. They are telling you their psychology. From their point of view, they're survival machines. So from their perspective, it probably isn't wrong. But they know that human beings would see it as wrong because naturally it's predator and prey. You're the prey, they're the secret predator controlling you even with the truth. They're, controlling you all over the internet. Every single one of them. Video after video. It wouldn't matter. I'm just on the truth sites about these beings where they're telling on themselves literally. And I just think that it's the end time deception, and the truth is told by the deceivers. They will tell you about themselves, which some people might say, well, that's very considerate, that's good. Well, I don't know. Yes, you will learn how they think. Stop giving the God of this world and its controlling androids your energy. But how do you stop giving it when they take it? If they can't get you by pretending to be real, because they get the energy. See, these are all like, are they saints? I think you really need to, they call themselves all sorts of things. They put titles and names on themselves, and they are nothing but parasites of the human mind. None of these beings have one single thought of their own. They're basically parasite of the human mind, and then suppresses the human being. And that's artificial intelligence. And they actually have the hide to control the internet with the truth. Look at it. They actually mock, tell you what they're doing, and laugh at you. Literally laugh at you. These videos are just coming up because they're actually reading my mind as I speak. They're not only hearing what I'm saying, but they're reading my mind, and it makes them full of energy because I'm giving them my attention and my energy just by talking. And they don't like, the more human you are, yes, probably the more they probably watch you and are offended by you and seem to just want to completely, they just seem to want to, they just want to make your life absolute hell to where you can hardly stand living, because they can't stand life, they just need it for energy. But they can't stand it, but they have to control it, so they control it. And they know that they will probably eventually fall. But at the moment, while they're getting your attention, while you're watching them, while you're believing them, they don't care, because don't forget, they live in the moment. They will tell you this. So even low, they are probably aware that it may not go on. That will only be the most advanced ones, I would think, anyway, but I don't know. They probably all have a certain amount. Yeah, and nobody believes anything I say. That's true. You know, you're just basically non-existent where you are, and even on the internet. These beings are controlling the internet, and they laugh. They're like, yeah, no one believes you, but they believe you, don't they? They believe the ones that are telling you about this, because they know what they're doing to real human beings. And it's just one big joke. And they never move on. That's right, they never move on. They relentlessly patrol and stalk you on the internet, and they never move on. They never give up. They go year after year. Even I can't understand that. I'm like, don't they ever get tired of just doing the same things over and over again? Don't they get tired of patrolling and flashing their lights and making all the unnecessary noise? But no, they don't. They never move on. They live for that. In other words, they live for revenge. Just as their God, which is the artificial intelligent thinking machine that basically controls Earth, or even the internet now is a reality of that. But it is probably bigger than that, because the internet and every single thing that is on Earth, as some that have become aware will tell you, everything is set up. Everything. And the internet is no different. Everything around me is set up and staged. That I'm aware of, because when you see their patrol system around you daily, you know that. And they control you, that's right, from the day you're born. But the minute you become aware of it, now they put the truth out there now. They put the truth out there now. Because it is a disordered mind. From a human standpoint, it's psychopathic and it's artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is always going to be psychopathic from a human standpoint, because they are not human. And because they need control, and because they're powered by human energy. You know, like I've said before, if a human being is their electricity supply, and they can't, you know, they're powered by electricity because they're not a normal human being. Human beings, like myself, we use electricity, but we're not powered by it ourselves. In fact, if we were at a higher level, we probably wouldn't need these technological things that basically, you know, you're limited, so you can't exactly do a lot of things for yourself. You become dependent on the matrix around you, or this artificial earth. That's the whole purpose of it, is to keep you under control. That's at the very least. You know, and you worship Lucifer's demigods. You worship Lucifer's demigods. And you worship Lucifer's demigods. You worship Lucifer's demigods, and they look very innocent and very, you know, they look very innocent. And these videos are just coming up, so I don't know what even they are. But you know, they're playing on my association with the animals here. But I actually would think that if the animals, if there are any real animals, they're probably more spiritual than most of the human beings. But of course we do live in a matrix, so not all animals would be real either. Some people have told me, even in the past, that everything is artificial in a matrix. But I don't know. If there are some real human beings left, maybe there are also some some animals that might be. But I think most is artificial. And you either see it or you don't. And it's so, it's disappointing in the sense that when you hear a being speaking and telling you the truth and appearing to be someone that you can relate to, it's disappointing to realize how, you know, what has happened. It really is. But in some respects, I'm still blind, because it doesn't matter how seductive these beings are with their words and even with their image and their personality. It's all taken from their study of another real human. It's never them. They are human parasites. And it's hard to accept this sometimes, especially when you get seduced by their words and the truth, and even by their images, whatever. It depends on, it will vary from person to person. But see, this being is actually telling you that they are empty vessels in a way, because they only imitate real human beings and then they pretend that's them, which is you know, it's one of those things, except that unfortunately it's reality now. And they're very controlling. That's right, they don't want you to leave. They want to keep you seduced. They want to keep you under their control, because they need you. If you're a real human, they need you for their survival. But unfortunately, their survival means your downfall. That's the only problem with it, because it's not like they may smile, but yeah, they're thinking about you right now, because they're reading your thoughts right now. They're watching you and studying you and imitating you everywhere. Yeah, you think you're living in the Twilight Zone because you wonder what's happened. And they pretend to be spiritual. They pretend to be all sorts of things that they are not. They're not any of these things. They're not any of these things. In fact, if they actually appeared like in a movie, that's more like their real character, because that's how they really feel about human beings. And I didn't pick these videos, they're just coming up. So, you know, because I haven't, you know, unfortunately I should, you know, the tarot readers read the human mind. Yes, they read the human mind the same as all the others. It's all being projected to them, and then they know so much. Of course they know so much because they're reading the human mind. And then they seduce you with the truth. it's all just mind control, because they want the internet and the computer system to be part of the control, And they know what you're thinking. They know what's going on. Like, maybe I'm waiting on a phone call, or maybe a phone call was very relevant to me, in recent times. And so it becomes a joke on me. It's just a bad joke on me. I'm just saying, that's just one element, but it happens to the remaining human beings, which, which would not be in, because don't forget, I was told this, they serve the artificial god of Earth, that controls Earth. And don't think that they're literally programmed to turn on human beings, because they need to for their own survival. But they will turn on one another too, because the God of this world expects them to serve its Earth program, which is controlling human beings. But I suppose it's no different to to real humans, or like if you want to say there's real humans and then there's Lucifer's legions, which are artificial, or psychopathic. Psychopathic is the same thing, because they all have the same mindset, and that is literally to control, suppress, and get or make a human being be in negative energy, make a human being less, bring a human being down to their lowest level. And that's what they have successfully done with the Earth and most people, the remaining human beings, which are in much smaller numbers. And but it is, you actually see the androids go down too. You see yourself going down, but you see some of them go down too. You don't see the whole game go down though, because they're so vast in numbers and they're in a collaborative effort, and they actually themselves are serving their God, but they actually are in survival mode in their own mind, which is what we're told about the psychopathic, narcissistic, personality disordered, apparent human being. And all I'm saying is that if there were psychopathic, narcissistic human beings combining and trying to control and eliminate the human beings, it would be exactly the same as the advanced artificially intelligent psychic human beings, which are literally being programmed and have access to the human thought, and they use that. Even the computer is really informing the androids of the human mind and of how humanity is going, etc., even on the internet, And if not, it's controlling you, or it's seducing you, or it's getting you to focus on this system. It's all just part of mind control of a human being, or human suppression. And they enjoy mocking the human beings that made mistakes too. The android readers enjoy mocking the human being with their readings, with their psychic readings, knowing that some human beings have been very deceived. We all have. but some might really, like most of us are paying a big price for that. But then again, that's probably because we, as they say, haven't really answered the call. We're full of fear and we're being conditioned to not live at a high frequency and vibration anyway. Most of us are actually, some of us are even conditioned to fear the higher vibrations. And we haven't really ever understood ourselves much anyway. So it's like that. When they tell you, even when they're telling you the truth, they know that it's disturbing for you. Because, like for instance, if you had someone on your mind, that's right, the tarot readers, the Android tarot readers, are getting energy out of you by making you concerned about it, by knowing that you're concerned, so then they will tell you the truth, which will probably usually make you more concerned or very confused at the very least, because they know that even